Oh boy. So really most people think that the only way that you can show them that you love them is if you suffer. How painful was it for you to love me? What did you give up to love me? Right? It's like it's been deeply embedded in us for ever, right? Like it's what Jesus was a walking example to teach us, to tell us. And yet it's like misinterpret it, right? Like he was the martyr, right? He died on the cross for us. That's how much he loves us, right? And it was supposed to be dramatic and to get our attention and for us to understand. He was the example, the warning, like, what are you doing? What's you doing? And yet we couldn't hear that. And they're showing this is why it's like the 144. You can look at it either way. You really can. But because like many people are like, oh, I want to be the 144. I want to be chosen. Right? But the point is you're supposed to choose yourself. And when you don't, you get chosen to be part of the 144 and we get put through hell, right? So we can understand it. It's like we get trained into understanding like, what you doing? What you doing over there, right? And you have to like experience those depths of hell and recognize how stupid we're being, right? And to be the example, like this is what happens when you're not loving yourself, when you leave your alignment, when you go to please another, right? And it's the example to show you, is that what you want? Is that what you want? Do you want to be, right? And so again, like, like I think some people look at it like, oh, how lucky. And other people who have been through it have been like, be careful what you ask for, right? I just thought it was an interesting thing that they were pointing out because, again, it's very much something that all of us can understand and relate to and see the source of it in many religions, which, again, was it wrong teaching or was it just the misinterpretation of the teaching, right? The example. And I mean, all of it is how your mind's functioning and how it's understanding it and how it's learning and based on your experiences, what your input is and what your take is of those experiences and what you continue to tell yourself and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, we can all hear it at different times and in different ways and different translations, different, right? Like, I think everybody's essentially saying the same thing. It's just some people are flipped upside down or haven't heard it all the way through or don't fully understand. But I think the feeling in one's body, I think what everybody is aiming for is to feel love flood their body, right? For them to fully love and accept themselves, embrace themselves, to know they themselves are worthy, that they're good enough. And so everything anybody thinks, does, says, learns, interprets, translates is all an attempt to reach that space. Yet we do tend to have a wonky way of getting there. And often it is so muddled and confused by other people's beliefs, interpretations, translations, advice, guidance, programs, certainty, know-how, leadership. All these things get muddled in the mix, and you don't know up from down, right from wrong, good from bad. You don't know if you're trying to please them or please yourself. You don't know if it feels good for them or if it feels good for you. You've left your feeling body. You're stuck in your mind trying to get the fuck out of your mind by getting it right according to everybody else's rule book except for your own. So you can't even feel what the fuck feels good, what the fuck feels bad, according to whom, you or those outside of you. What's going on? And so, once you drop all that and untangle from all that and release yourself from all that and stop worrying about not only the judgment of others, but the judgment of, because it's always the judgment of others. It's humans that are translating and telling you these things, right? So it's like even the judgment of your religion, of your God, of your whatever. It's like, but according to whom's rule book? Are you in direct connection and contact? Are you speaking directly? Or you just presume that's what your God has told you according to the 20 middlemen in between who have told you what their God has told them to tell you? Do you hear what I'm saying? It's like, you have to love yourself, figure out what that means, how to feel good in your body and your mind, to have it connected and in unison, to have perfect peace and harmony throughout you so that you are in alignment with your higher self, so you can get reconnected to your God, to unconditional love, to the highest vibration of all, to the flow that feels the best for you, into that alignment, into that attunement. And if you're following other people's rule books or guidelines or judgment or anything else to get there, you're not likely going to get there. You're not likely going to reach it because you're dismissing your Lord within and your direct connection and saying, no, quiet down. You don't know anything. You're not good enough. You don't understand. Let's look outside ourselves. And so it's like, well, then you're never going to get in connection. All that said, it does matter where you're on your journey, where there are like basic things you need to unravel and to see more clearly. And if you can't do that singularly, and most can't, right? Most of us, I mean, I know I have needed an education on so many things to get just straight enough to get back into my alignment. And that's why there are, I believe, a million practices of people who, claim to have the answer. And it's like, well, maybe not the answer. Maybe that's not what needs to be advertised, but the practices and tools to help you slow down, to help you to unravel things, to help you get closer to your own alignment. And the more you do those practices and figure out which ones work for you, because they're going to be different for everybody, and everybody is certain their way is the way. No, you need to decide which works for you and which doesn't, and give it an earnest try. Just wherever you feel drawn to, start from there. And do more and more and more of them until you do feel back to you. You do feel more you. You do feel like you're able to hear you, your center, your truth more clearly, more loudly. And that's when you also want to learn then how to go within more and more and more and clear out the outside more and more and more. That doesn't mean stop the practices that work. That doesn't mean anything other than loving you more and more and taking your own guidance more and more. So this way, when you do programs outside of you, you do programs from others, you get to decide, you get to judge if it's right or wrong for you. You are in charge. You determine if what they're saying is truth or fact for you, instead of listening to it blindly and just swallowing it, right? And getting indoctrinated in whatever they're preaching or teaching. And I've shared with you, I have had many wonderful teachers. I've followed many wonderful programs, and not one of them has been 100% accurate for me, right? But so instead of dismissing all of it, no, there was a good, some 60, 70, 80, some 90% of what I was learning from them was fantastic and spot on for me. And there was a 10% that seemed wrong or seemed off. But the more I was getting closer to me and my center and my understanding, the more I could see that variation that needed to be discarded, right? That was not my truth, that I disagreed with. And I didn't have to argue the disagreement, let them have their belief, their understanding, their interpretation, and I can understand my interpretation, my translation, because I'm getting direct guidance now. So it's like we'll run into many people who have, similar understandings, beliefs, values, these kind of things. And it's like, one, don't then automatically follow them blindly. And two, don't dismiss them blindly when you hear the 10% that doesn't resonate, right? It's like that fine balance with everything, including that. Anyway, okay. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.